Hello, everyone. There is a lot that y'all need to know and do and be and have access to if you are going to make a piece of new musical theater. From ideas to planning, to writing, to rewriting, to development, submissions, production, and so much more, can feel utterly impossible to find and to know everything that is involved in each of these processes. And well, you're here watching this, so I assume that you're already well aware of this. At least I hope you are. So, what can we do about that? How is it that we can find everything that we need and put it into action, from writing to development to production to inner work and beyond, all while being supported along the way? That, my friends, is precisely what we are here to discover today and to chat about. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Michael Ratty, also known as Musical Theater Writer Guy, and I am someone who very strongly believes in providing information to all of you about musical theater writing, the process, what's involved, what you may need to know, what you may need to not know, and providing as many resources as possible, which is why I'm here. It's why I started this channel in the first place, because there's a lack of access to information, right? You go Googling how to write a musical. There's not a lot that comes up. And the information is pretty scant. It is hard to find. It's often a little bit convoluted, and there aren't a lot of resources, let alone places to go where you can be in community with other people who are doing this thing or who want to be doing this thing. And then beyond that, even if you are in one of those communities, a community that continues, that grows, where you can find your people, a community that has environment that is open and warm and welcoming and friendly and affirming and supportive to help you along your way as you're doing the thing you want to do. These things just hadn't existed in any way, shape, or form, which is why I originally started the YouTube channel and the Musical Theater Writing Collective and my flagship course 4 cohorts ago. All of this came out of the lack, the need for this information, these environments, these communities, for all of you. Hey, Steamship. Hello. I'm glad you're here. So we don't have this stuff all in one place. And it is because of that I am now going to be expanding the Musical Theater Writing Collective to become precisely that place. So I want to talk a bit about this, what it is, what it's going to be, what it can provide to all of you. And I will have an Ask Me Anything, as per usual, at the end, which can be on this topic or any topic. I'll be here through the hour as long as people have questions. So the new version of Musical Theater Writing Collective is going to hopefully be a one-stop shop for everything you need, and all at one affordable membership price. Kind of a secret goal of mine is if you never have to Google anything, then I did my job. Oh, that is so kind. Thank you so much. Well, we can help you toward that goal of getting that musical produced. I really, really strongly believe that we can do that. So we need all the info. What is that? What's that going to look like? Here's what I would like that to have for all of you. Resources, information, as easy as possible for consumability. So that's PDFs, that's downloadables, that's video courses, that's mini courses, that's outside resources, that's partnerships. And then, of course, more and more and more as we build and we grow. All of that while living in a community that will continually expand as new information comes out, as we have new learnings, as I learn new things, I just add it. There was a lovely podcast I was listening to. The true impetus for this shift is from this podcast. It was 3.5 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. No, it's December. Had to have been like closer to 5 weeks ago. I think it was right after Halloween. And I was listening to this gentleman telling me, because, they speak directly to us through the podcast. Good Lord. telling all of us, I guess, that he had a realization at one point from a dream, which was that there's no need to hold back any information. If he just gives everything he knows, he's helping the world. And that's the whole point. That's why I'm here. I'm here to help all of you do what you want to do, which is what I like to do and want to do and do, right? So with that thought, I was like, wait, yes. So how can I provide everything I know, everything I learn, and give it to all of you as easily as possible? So we will have, of course, our community with what already exists in it. I'm not going to change or take away what already exists. We're going to build beyond and create more organization and make it easy. Make it easy for you to find what you need. So things like our bi-weekly labs, which for the moment will stay bi-weekly. Maybe they'll become weekly eventually. Those will still exist. Obviously, those are great places to come and bring work to share and get feedback from me and from other people. But also, those are great places just to spend some face time with people who maybe you haven't met yet in this community. And we're international, so you might meet someone from across the world from you. It's really great. And also, you can just come and do some accountability work. That's totally fine as well. Things like our reading series, which has been a hit this year since it started in, March, I think? We've had 5, 6 readings of shows at this point. Our next one's coming up in January. And these shows have been all at different stages, right? The whole point of the reading series is for me to help you do a thing that is hard. Putting a reading together at any stage is difficult because it's you, the writers. You got to do it. But I'm here, and I know how to do it, and I can help you do it, and I can provide you a community that's going to give you good feedback, the kind of feedback you want and you need, right? So our reading series has been a hit, and I look forward to so many more readings as we go through our time together. We also have our quarterly cabarets, these lovely nuggets of live events every 3 months. So none of this is going to go away. It's all still going to be there. But what I want to offer on top of all that is this new version of what the collective is going to be. And of course, we'll also have our live courses as well. Like the flagship course is still going strong. Cohort 5 is going to start at the end of February, I believe. Dates are on the website. I have a new accelerator course that I've been beta testing for the past many months. And that is going to be launching in the winter officially to the public. And it's really great. If you got a show and you want to fast track it, it's not even about fast tracking, it's just getting the things done supportedly. I'll tell you all about it sometime soon when I have the info written up and I don't babble. And then things like script and score consultations and one-on-one coaching with me, all those things still exist, but those are add-ons. The thing itself, this is what I'm focused on, where you can just come in and get what you need, info, resources. And I'm going to break all of this down. I say gonna, I'm already doing the work behind the scenes. I'm breaking all of this down to 4 main areas, which I'm going to get to in a moment. And I hope that in addition to all of these resources and things, I can also provide just directly into the membership other live events and challenges, workshops, bring people in who are experts in things that are going to help all of us. So that's the major basic idea of what we're working with here. And again, I'm sure there will be questions as we go along the way, so let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them. Or at the end, you can save it for the end. Speaking of live events, though, just like I said, we have a reading coming up in early January of a lovely show I'm very excited about. And we're going to actually be doing it in a kind of a hybrid way, which is going to be fun. And then also we have our next quarterly cabaret at the end of January, which will be just a lovely, fun, warm time. So I'll post, a link to our collective after this. I'll pin it. Okay, so I want to talk about those 4 main areas, or buckets, if you will, for all the information and the resources that's going to be out there, because there is a lot, which means that there's also going to be a lot of info in each of these sections. But I know that can get super overwhelming, and I don't want to overwhelm everyone by giving everything that I know and can be useful. I also want it to be actively helpful to all of you. So I'm going to have a roadmap for all of this that you can follow. I have built these signature frameworks. So there's a framework for how each of these 4 areas like work together. What do you do? And inside each of those areas, there's another framework that you can follow as well. It's basically my way of saying, here's the blueprint for how I suggest you learn this information and go about doing your work, because it's not just learning, it's like do the thing as you learn, right? It's very practical. But ultimately, you can choose for yourself whether or not you'd like to follow that blueprint. It's yours, right? The framework will be there. It'll be explained. You can do it, or you can choose to just do it your own way. I know it doesn't work for everyone to follow other people's blueprints. Oh, how do I cast the readings, and are they on Zoom? Great question. Thank you for asking. Casting, well, it depends. We've done readings where they're kind of just closed casual readings, like first reads or second reads of a show, where we just have people from the community show up and do it. Or we have them pre-cast, like just ask for volunteers in the weeks leading up, and people in the community will volunteer to read roles and they'll get the scripts and do it that way. We've had people bring in outside performers who they have prepared otherwise. I can always suggest performers, but a lot of the writers so far have connections to their own performers. So it really can be done any number of ways. We do the event itself through Zoom, yes. The people may be together in one room. So in a hybrid model, which we have done and will have again soon, we will have the performers, director all in one place doing the thing, and the rest of us are watching it happen live. So the rest of us are on Zoom kind of just watching the one Zoom square, which is essentially doing the reading in it. Otherwise, we've done them purely on Zoom as well. And there are lots of ways to do that with the music. It works. It's lovely. A lot of the time, it's just composers having demos or saying, this song's not written yet, so I'm going to skip it. But we've also had people sing along. I did a reading of King's Legacy, I don't know, 2.5 years ago via Zoom, where for any solo song, people just had the tracks and just sang the song from their Zoom square, sang along with original audio. It's great. You can do pretty much anything on Zoom. It's very, very effective. And then we do our feedback sessions via Zoom. So it's lovely. Hopefully that answers your question. All right. So the 4 main areas themselves are writing, seems obvious, development, production and beyond, and all with a continued through line of growth, which is focused more on inner development. Because as you go through any and all of these processes, you as a person are going to continue to grow. Life moves on, you will continue to evolve. So that is a large part of the journey here. The idea is kind of that we have writing into development, into production and beyond, where we can kind of go in this cycle all together, right, with work. Because even if you've gone fully through that cycle with one piece, there are other pieces that need to go through that same cycle, but it probably looks a little bit different. So you have to know exactly how you might navigate that with pieces that need to be treated differently. But in the center of this circle, this cycle, is growth, is us, right? We as people need to continue to develop and grow, not just in our art, but as human beings as well. And that's just as important. So writing. The writing area is going to contain anything and everything you think it's going to. Things like planning, different approaches and options to writing, education, like true deep dive, fundamental education, things about the writing process, things about the macro of writing, treating writing like a career, like something you are doing, like a creative practice, all of the facets of the process. So that's book and music and lyrics and anything beyond, sustainability, how to do the thing. And within each of these main areas, it's going to be broken down into smaller subjects as well. So I guarantee you it's going to make sense. Everything will be written out as like, here's how it's organized. Here's how you can follow along. Here's how you can evaluate what you need to look at. Because maybe you're a beginner in this area, but you're very well practiced in this area. So is there content for you in both areas? The answer is going to be yes. But like I said, everything will continue to grow as well. So it's not a one look and done. It's check back as new things are posted in and you're like, oh, wait, hold on. I don't know that though. So that's something new, right? It's going to be very exciting. So writing, all the things, book, music, lyrics for all of us. Creation from planning all the way through. Development. Oh boy, development. I think the majority of the questions I get is from people who are in the development process because it is so large. It's all encompassing. And sometimes development can throw you right back up into writing if planning wasn't done well. It's a whole separate conversation for another day. But development, readings, workshops, rewriting, revision, editing, those fun things, dramaturgy, feedback, putting together media, gaining media and putting it together, your package, putting together your pitch package or your media package or your little bundle of need to knows, things that you can send off for submissions, and lots more. Development is going to be a very large section with a lot of different facets to it because this is where the majority of shows spend their time. Once you have that initial process of writing the thing, getting to that first draft, pretty much anything from there all the way to production is going to be about developing the piece. What does it do? How does it cycle through? And I've talked about this before, the development loop is a thing that happens, right? Where we get to a certain point in development and sometimes we have to cycle back down because structurally we have changes that come in. So there's a lot that's going to be involved in there, and my goal is to make development easier and a lot less scary, because I don't want you to fall off writing your show because development feels hard. I'm here to help. That's the whole point of this thing. This place is me trying to help all you, as well as continue to do my own work and grow. And then the next area is what I call production and beyond, or production plus. It is basically all the ways that we can get to and through production, things like self-producing, or doing a small-scale production, or a large-scale production. Things like fundraising, or how you make money, publishing, licensing, the different types of productions, commercial versus nonprofit. A lot of that is going to feel very nitty-gritty because, hey, once you're in the production phase, your job as a writer starts to take a back seat. Still there, still lots to do. There will be rewrites, there will be revisions, so much more to do. But in terms of getting the thing produced, that's where there's a lot of other people and factors involved. So a lot of the more theater business kind of information will end up there. Not that it won't be in other places as well, but it will be heavily in that section. And then the most important piece, without which none of the other three sections would really work, is the section on growth. So this is inner work and development. This is about your habits and your routines, your mindset, your self-care, your creative practices, right? All the stuff that allows us to make writing and creation and development and production part of our lives so that we can actually accomplish the things that we're setting out to accomplish. And I have certainly been through processes where I had not done the inner work, and it showed in my writing, and it showed in the readings, and then it really slowed down my development process. But when you are in a good place internally, things flow so much easier. And I'm not saying that there's like this is not an onward, upward trajectory, right? This is progress looks like this kind of a graph. We're trending upward, but there's probably ups and downs along the way. But I want those resources there for all of us so we know, like, okay, I'm at this point in my life and I know that that's a mindset shift that I need to make. So what was in the mindset category? Okay, yeah, that's not going to be useful. That's not going to be useful. Oh, that feels useful. Great, I'm going to try that and see if it helps us out. Right? Of course, all of this is through the lens of everybody needs therapy. We all should have therapists. Therapy is wonderful. It's brilliant. It's great. And I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. So all of this is essentially just help. It is pointing you in directions. It's not necessarily doing the work for you. So it's important, that inner stuff. And I think that is the piece that people might end up avoiding the most, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm not really worried about it because at the end of the day, all of this is about providing the resources to you. And again, I will suggest ways you can develop and write and create, but ultimately you get to decide what you're going to do, what you're going to look at, what you're going to pursue, and in what order. That's all about how you feel. Because if we're going to learn and create and grow and write, we need not just the information and the resources, but we also need that proper environment to do it. We need the support. We need coaches. We need guides. We need mentors. We need community. We need affirmation of what's good. We need what we need to work on to be pointed out to us lovingly with kindness so that we can all grow through this process together. It's all part of the journey. And it doesn't exist in one place, but it's about to. So I'm so stoked about this. That is the essentials of what's coming in the collective version 2.0, I guess we can call it, and that I'm building right now. So if you want in on this, and honestly, who wouldn't want in on this? If this is what you want to be doing, then I'll just be honest and say that now is the time to join, because once the relaunch happens in the new year, the price is going to go up to better reflect the value of everything inside. So the lower price, if you want the lower price and want to keep that lower price forever, as long as you're a continuous member, then just join now, just do the thing. It's yours, right? That's the perk of getting in on the ground floor as I'm building the thing. And you will see things change and populate in there as I'm building it. So if you have feedback or you have questions, that sort of thing, you can add to that as well as I'm building it, which is a nice little perk. Yes, so I said the price is going to go up. It will still be affordable. Honestly, it's a steal, but it's going to go up. So just know that ahead of time. But like I said, anyone who's in there already, when that happens, you get to keep your forever price. Okay. I'm sure there are going to be questions. So, writing question. Oh, there's a writing question. I have, how much character description should we include in a script? Oh, okay. For costumes, etc. Okay, so character description, character breakdowns usually happen in your front matter. So, okay, you could keep it pretty bare if you want to and just focus on personality traits, or if there's something about their physical appearance that's important to the character, that can also go in there. I don't want to get too prescriptive about what they look like or who they should be necessarily, but it really depends on the needs of your show. So for instance, in The King's Legacy, there is a character who is a young girl, so that seems important, right? The youth and voice part. But like, there's nothing about character description that's particularly important in appearance. So I think unless something is crucial to the story itself, I wouldn't worry about adding look in like costuming and that sort of thing. That's what designers are for. So yeah, up to you, but I always say just give me the essentials. If it's not essential, then it sounds more like the image you have in your head, which is also totally cool to include if you'd like to. But I know some writers who like to make note of that. Like, this is who the character is. This is what I imagine. Do with that what you will. Everyone kind of approaches it differently. That's a good question. What is the price? The current price of the collective is $15 a month or $120 for the year. I have not announced the new price yet, but it will be higher. Not a lot higher, but it'll be higher. I will make that announcement soon, though. That will be coming up. But we are at Ask Me Anything time. So I'm going to take a sip of water. If you have other questions, anyone who's here, please feel free to ask. About the collective, about anything, about writing, about me and my journey. Or you could watch the videos I have about me and my journey. Can I tell you how excited I am? I'm really excited. I've been like jumping out of my skin in a good way for the past 4 weeks after like I heard that podcast and I let that percolate, let that sit, started thinking about all the things I could provide and how awesome it's going to be and how I wish that I had had this kind of a resource when I was starting or now, honestly. I mean, I'm going to be populating it with tons of information, but like I said, I'm going to be bringing in information from other people as well. So it's not all going to be stuff from my brain. I'm excited to have a place where I can go when I get stuck or when I don't know something and find out what it is I'm lacking or how to get through a block or just go to people and say, hey, I have this thing, this thought. I don't know what to do with it. Here's where I'm stuck. Can you help? Because the answer is usually yeah. The community, extraordinarily helpful people. Lovely humans. We have the best humans. I have no qualms in saying that we have the best humans. Yeah, so I've been just so excited to do this. I've been having a lot of fun building it in the background and figuring out, okay, what can I offer in a way that is easily digestible to everyone, where you can really follow along at your pace, but you also have a roadmap built for you. You don't have to think of it. What time and day are the labs? Great question. They change up once a month. One of them is always at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Tuesday. One lab per month, or I guess per 4-week cycle, is always then. But the other one, bi-weekly, is in the afternoon. Like it's usually noon Eastern Time. I'm trying to vary the times. Sometime between Monday and Thursday. The day depends on things like holidays or what's going on in the world or my schedule. But I try to vary it a little bit for that other day so that people who may not be available on a Monday but can come on a Thursday can come. Or so that people who are in a time zone in potentially like, oh, I don't know, our European friends, they might have the ability to come after work because a 7 p.m. on a Tuesday is midnight in England, I believe. So that's not useful. But that time is great for our friends in Australia who can come because they're 12 to 14 hours ahead. So I do try to vary it based on people's needs and making sure that we have accessibility. That's a great question. Thank you for asking. Do we have other questions? Writing, other things? I didn't expect to go through all of that so fast. I was excited. I don't know if you can tell. I'm very energized. But I'll stay out for a few more minutes if other people have questions. Are there things I need to tell you? Are there other things you need to know? Sure. The reading series, this might be a question you have. The reading series is included. It's free. You don't have to pay me anything. You're in the collective. I offer this as a free thing to do. So there is an application to fill out, and I just try to like make sure based on people's timing and goals that we can get everyone slotted in so that your reading can happen and that everyone's reading can happen. Does that come with? Such a good question. Thank you for asking. What that means is you get a one-on-one meeting with me to plan for the thing and how you're going to accomplish it. We pick our date. We talk about what your goals are for the reading, what you're looking to get out of the piece, what you need to have done before the reading happens, and when that needs to be done by so you can hand material to people. If you don't know people, need help finding people to sing your demos or to read parts, I help out with that. We discuss that. And then obviously I'll do the event. I'll tell everybody about it, and you can tell everybody about it too. You can also bring in outside people. This is why we do that one on Zoom, is because if you have people in your sphere who are not part of the collective who you want to come in and you want to hear it, you can share out the link to people as well so that you can get the kind of feedback and kind of eyes on your piece that you're looking for. Totally up to you. These can be very small closed readings, or we can really expand it to whatever you're looking for. But the focus is on the writers, it's on the piece. So we do that, we do the reading, and then it also comes with an included 1-hour coaching feedback session with me afterwards. So the feedback session that follows the reading itself Do I chime in? I do chime in. I can't help it. But for the most part, the feedback comes from everyone else, and I'm facilitating the feedback process so that I can give you separate notes. We usually schedule that within a week of the reading happening, so you get a little coaching with me. You know, it's fun. It's enjoyable. The readings are great. They're one of my favorite parts of this whole process, is being able to do readings. I also love the quarterly cabaret, and I want the collective to become more hybrid as we grow. We do have pockets of people in certain locations, New York City, obviously, but also we have a pocket in Boston. We've got an Arizona contingent. And as we continue to grow in our membership, I would love for there to be an ability for people to gather in their own hometowns and do either their own events that are still put on by, sponsored by the collective, or if we're doing a quarterly cabaret, does the Boston contingent want to get in a room and they do their stuff live and we watch through the Zoom screen? Do we do it hybrid? Probably. I hope so. So this is something I'm looking forward to having in our collective as well. All right, well, I'll give it one more minute, see if there are questions about what the collective is doing or writing stuff. And if not, we'll hop off for today. I feel accomplished. I also feel like I'm excited to hop off this call and continue building the new version of the collective. It's all the technical nitty-gritty stuff that slows me down. Otherwise, I would just pop all the info in an easy-to-consume way, just straight out of my brain into the computer. That'd be nice. / scary. One day we'll get there. AI is a little bit nerve-wracking at times, but also useful at times. Now I'm just babbling. You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Doesn't look like we have any other questions coming in for today. So I'm going to say thank y'all for being here. I appreciate you. I hope you have a lovely weekend. If you have other things you want to know, put them in the comments. I'm very happy to answer questions. You can book a free call with me. I'll provide that link as well in the comment section, or excuse me, in the description. You can ask questions, all sorts of things. Download info. I've got tons of free info already. Check it out. See what you're interested in. Otherwise, my friends, have a lovely rest of your day. All right. Bye, everyone. Cheers.